Once again, I want to welcome each and every one of us to today's training. My name still remains Nzekwe Maxwell. So yesterday we talked about the introduction to cybersecurity, and we stopped at defense in depth under domain one. So today we continue with the defense in depth. We said that these are multiple layers of security to slow down or stop attackers. And we have examples, which is physical security, network security, application security, endpoint security, and users training. And I went ahead to explain them one by one and what they mean. And I mentioned to us what physical security is. I said there are so many examples of physical securities, like the security guard that you put at the entrance of the building, like the dullards, like the turnstiles. These are all physical securities. Like the CCTVs, these are all physical securities. So we went ahead to talk about network security. And I said that these network securities are the ones that use to secure data in transit and defend them against unauthorized accesses. And in network security, we are looking at firewalls, we are looking at IDPs, IPS, because we use them to monitor and block unsuspicious activities. So network securities can incorporate all of them. We also talk about application security. We show that these applications that we use, which are softwares, we have to make sure that they are secured and people access it securely. So we need to secure the code, avoid common vulnerabilities like SQL injection, SSS, and all the what have you. And also code review and testing. We must be doing that by doing the static analysis or dynamic analysis. We also have to make sure that any vulnerabilities that is there, we patch them regularly, which I gave example of a fintech that has issue that all have to bring out a new patch to regularize the update to fix the known flaws that they have. So I also talked about the endpoint security, which I said that these are the ones that individual laptops and systems have, even your mobile phones, because that is where you have antivirus, anti-malwares, which detects and removes threats from the system. I also mentioned that there are differences between malware and viruses. Virus is an example of malware. So in your laptop, there are different malware can attack your system, which we have Trojan, worm, viruses, and so on. So the endpoint security will help us to detect and remove them, and also to make sure that our data are encrypted. Then we talk about user training, where we mentioned that we are going to be telling users how to be safe in the internet, how to use a strong password, how social engineering works, and how to understand manipulation tactics, and how to even see that they can spot phishing, which is suspicious email links. Okay, so after that, we now go on to security governance. Is there any question before we continue under defense in depth? So we all are on the same page. All right. Go ahead if you have any question. Okay. So we look at security governance. Security governance, we talk about policies, standards, procedures, and guidelines. This one you will surely see in exam, because they are going to ask you the difference between policies, standard, procedures. They will even give you scenarios to say, okay, these policies are high-level rules. Policies are high-level rules, while standards are specific technology rules. So these policies that are high-level rules is made by organization security. So the purpose is to make sure that everybody follows some security practices. That is policy. For instance, they will tell you we have a password policy, we have Wi-Fi policy, we have bring your own BYO device policy, BYOD policy. So different policies. For the password policies, they can make it every quarter. You see that every quarter, if you are logged into the domain, that password is going to expire and you have to change it. That's the kind of, that's what policy is all about. But standard are specific. There are those mandatory rules that support those policies. So it's going to make sure that you ensure consistency and compliance. There is what we call encryption standards. Standards are being set by what? A body. In Nigeria, we have NAFDAC standards. So you need to understand the difference between policies and standards. Whereby policies are being set by organizations, standards are being set by what? Body. Policies are being set by companies, while standards are being set by a bigger body that governs those companies, that regulates them. So what are procedures? Every procedure is a step-by-step instruction, right? The step-by-step instruction that you now use to implement those policies. Step-by-step that you are going to use to implement those standards. It will guide you on how to perform tasks. It will guide you on how to change your password. It will guide you because these are procedures. For instance, user onboarding. It will tell the user how to create the account, the role, the MFA, multi-factor authentication, and everything. That is procedures. Most organizations have what we call SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. It guides each department, departments, on how they do what, operates the procedures. In the morning, what are your morning rituals? What do you do when you come to work? As an IT personnel, as a cybersecurity personnel, you log in to maybe if you are into SOC monitoring, you log into Wazoo, log into Splunk, log into applications, monitor the applications, see what is going on. There are procedures. I remember those days in the NOC when we are doing monitoring. When you come, what you do is that you have a list of IP addresses, the core networks, you have to check them. The branches, you check and make sure that everything is working on fine. There are procedures to do those things. Then we go over to guidelines. Guidelines are recommended practices that are not mandatory, but it will help you to improve the security. So these are guidelines. So it offers flexibility for you to do best practices. Are we together? So it's not mandatory, but it's for best practices. Please confirm you can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Good. So any question on that before we go into risk management?
No, sir.
Go ahead. Okay, so
sorry. You said at last that it's not mandatory, but it's practice. And
okay, so yes, guideline. So guideline is that, you know, someone can tell you this is the best way to do this, right? You can tell, oh, you can follow, you can recommend the practice that are not mandatory, but it can help you to improve what you are doing. For instance, somebody can tell you, the way you use your email, you should make sure that you configure it to have your IT email, HR email, operations email, development email, cybersecurity email. So to have your email, the guideline for you to use your email. So when this email come in, so they will be coming into those sub folders that you have created, right? So these are the guidelines. But it's not mandatory that you should create your email like that, because the email will always come into your inbox. I don't know if we get it now.
Yeah, I understand now.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
guidelines.
I want to ask, for this security governance, yeah, I know this question might really sound dumb, but like when we see all these accept cookies on sites we enter, does it has anything to do with that? Like,
Yes. So when you see accept cookies, first of all, do you understand what cookies is?
no, to be honest.
Okay, so when you see cookies, how do I put it? They use it to improve user experience by personalizing your experience. If you come to a platform like a talent.app, for instance, and we tell you that we use these cookies, if you accept those cookies, we will monitor whatever that you are picking. You pick that, oh, I want to learn data analysis, I want to learn cybersecurity. Then you will now go out of that website. The website can crawl, can track you. So wherever you are, you will see pop up, learn cybersecurity. And when you click it, it will direct you to the website, talents.app. So that is where in some applications, when you open your browser, if there are sites that you have accepted cookies, you will be seeing, if it's Gigi, for instance, you will be seeing ads from Gigi because you have accepted the cookies. So cookies are small pieces of data stored on your device by a website to remember information about that user. So when you accept the cookies, it installs its own data in your system. Now, it uses that to crawl, to tell you, oh, suggest some things to you. Have you ever wondered, how did I visit this website? And this website knows that I need this. It's because you accepted cookies. And they are using it to track your experience, the things that you like and the things you don't like. And they are now suggesting it to you. It's not always good to accept cookies. You have to do what? Check the cookies that you are accepting before you accept it. There are different types of cookies. We have section cookies, which is temporary, and it goes when the browser closes. That one is good because you know that when you finish the platform and close it, it goes. There is persistent cookies. That one remains on your device until they expire or you delete it. So there is first-party cookies. The set by the website you are visiting. There is third-party cookies set by external services like ads, analytics. So most platforms use third-party cookies because that is what they use to do what? Track you. It can track your browsing across different sites. So it affects your data and it can hijack your section. So attackers can steal sections through cookies. So you need to be very, very careful. So how do you manage these cookies? There is a place in the browser section, 3 dots. When you go there, you will see tools like privacy badge, block cookies, or delete cookies. So you will do that so you can't be having this platform follow you up and down, showing you the ads. And truly, you'll be seeing this ad, you'll be wondering. And in your phone, sometimes it happens. Let me tell you, especially when you visit porn sites, you cannot visit porn site without accepting cookie. And once you accept the cookie, you will see nonsense will be popping up on your phone. And you'll be wondering, what is this? It's embarrassing because they are using that third-party cookies to track you. Do you understand that now?
Yes.
All right. So we go over to risk management.
Sorry, since you tried to explain this, if one has accepted those third-party cookies, and is there a way to now expunge them from your system?
Yes, that's what I said. That how you can manage it is that you go to your browser, you go to those three dots, you go to browser setting, you can view, you can block them, you can delete cookies. So that is how you can do it. Yes, if you go to your browser now, you see on browser setting, you see manage cookies, you can see block cookies and all that. Yes, if you have done it,
Okay.
you can actually mitigate it now.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So risk management basics. What is risk? I don't want to take risk. What is risk?
Like risk, I would say like risk is doing what you're afraid to do. Like I would say like taking huge steps to do something unimaginable.
Okay. Now, cybersecurity risk. When you look at cybersecurity risk, you will see that is, hold on, I'm trying to accept these people. I thought Joseph was in this class before. Okay. All right. So when you talk about cybersecurity risk, you are referring to the potential for loss of data, for damage of data, or disruption of the operations, or even loss of digital assets due to cyber threats. These are risks, right? So it can be internal, external, or even human error. We have types of cybersecurity risk. Of course, one of them is going to be malware. Those ransomware, spyware, viruses that affect our systems and steal our information, or even the request for money or destroy our data. The risk. Phishing. When somebody sends a deceptive email or messages, tricking users into revealing sensitive information. They send you message. President is giving palliative. Fill this form to get yours. And in that form is your date of birth. In that form is your NIN or BVN. You are sitting on the keg of gunpowder. That is phishing. They are using it. So the first thing you do is that you check the URL. Is this URL coming from government? Of course, there are so many ways. I showed us in the first day we did a forensic analysis. You can use Whois to know who is actually using that URL. Is it government or an individual? When is it registered? Who registered it? The phone number, the address, every information you need will be there. That will help you to mitigate it. Now, there is what we call insider threat. Insider threat, when you have a disgruntled employee, you see that the person will be looking. Sometimes I have seen an organization whereby an employee went to go and remove network cable that brings internet to the company. And they are troubleshooting. Where is the issue coming from? He's disgruntled. He just wants to disrupt activities. You see some people, they cause 1 or 2 harms in the organization because they are internal. These are risks. Of course, I've mentioned about software, unpatched software, which is also risk. Password, weak password is risk. Not having multiple factor authentication is a risk. When you misconfigure, you want to give access to A, you now give access to B, is a risk. You want to give a user an admin access, is a risk. Of course, we cannot overlook the denial of service, which is also a risk. So, risk is equals to, as you can see, threat and vulnerability plus impact. Threat, vulnerability, and what? Impact. That's risk. What is threat? Threat is something that can cause harm. It has the potential to cause harm, like a hacker, like a malware, and so on. What is vulnerability? Is a weakness that can be exploited, like outdated software. I gave an analogy yesterday about you close your door, you do not lock it, so when they push it, it opens. So these are vulnerabilities. What is impact? Impact is the damage that risk caused. So if the risk eventually happens, there is going to be data stealing, data breaches, financial losses, network downtime, operation inefficiency. These are impacts. So there's another one, which is likelihood. Likelihood is like the probability that the threat will occur or not. So how do you manage this risk? Risk treatment. You have to, there are 4 ways for risk treatment. 1, you have to avoid risk. Risk avoidance. 2, you have to transfer risk. 3, you have to accept it. And the 4th one, you can do what? Mitigate it. Does anybody understand what is risk avoidance? Can anybody explain risk avoidance?
To avoid the risk from happening, like instead of preventing it, you just avoid it. Yeah, instead of curing it at the end of the day, you just avoid it initially from happening.
Exactly. That's risk avoidance. It's quite simple. You eliminate the risk entirely. You eliminate all the activities or anything that can cause it. You avoid it. That's risk avoidance. So what is risk transfer?
Risk transfer could be something like insurance. When the thing happens and you're insured, you transfer the risk that to appropriate body.
Exactly. So you shift the risk to another third party, like insurance company. That's this transfer. You don't want to own the risk, you have transferred it. That's what people do. You build your organizations, you have your data center, you insure it. When you insure it, you have transferred the risk. If there is a fire outbreak or your car, that is what we do in our car. We insure it. Quite unfortunately, what we do here is third party. If you do comprehensive insurance, my car, I did comprehensive insurance. If anything happened to it, the company will provide for it. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, it doesn't even happen that way. You have to even follow it up with legal action and all that before you get your compensation. So, but that's by the way, you've transferred the risk. If your car has an accident, they will replace it. If your house got burnt, they will do what? pay you for it. That's risk transfer. What is risk acceptance?
To accept the risk, to accept the risk in order to achieve what you want.
Okay, so now when you have looked at this risk and you see that the cost of getting solution for this risk is higher than the risk itself. For instance, if you have a car that the car is 1 million naira, and for you to insure that car, you have to pay 1.5 million to insure the car. What do? You will accept it now. After all, if anything happens, you can use the 1.5 you could have paid to do what? To buy another one. You have accepted the risk the way it is. So accepting the risk of using the system that's costly to replace but still functional. That is risk acceptance. What is mitigate? Because of time, let's go. So risk mitigate means to reduce the likelihood or impact of the risk through control and safeguard. For instance, we implement rules, firewalls, encryptions, we do training, all those things to make sure that this risk doesn't happen. We mitigate it. That is what? Risk mitigation. Now, we've explained what is threat, potential cause of harm, vulnerability, weakness that can be exploited, and exploit tool or method to take advantage of a vulnerability. All right. So let's look at common security terms. Common security terms. What are the common security terms? We have assets, threat actor, attack vector, and zero trust. Under the zero trust, we have what we call zero-day attack. So, what is an asset? What is an asset? An asset is anything of value. Of course, people are assets. Your phone is an asset. Your data is an asset. The things you value much is an asset. Your children, your wife, your parents, they are your assets. Anything of value is an asset. Threat actor. Threat actors are individuals or group behind an attack. Attack vector. The path or method used to attack is called an attack vector. Zero trust. Zero trust is not to trust anybody. You have to always verify before authenticating. Zero-day attack. Does anybody know what is zero-day attack?
Yeah, like an attack that you never expect that it will happen, but it actually happens without you controlling it.
Good. That is zero-day attack. All right, with this, we've come to the end of domain 1. And I mentioned to us the other day that I'm going to send this material, but I was not able to. I'm just sending it now to the group. I just remembered it's in the group now. Okay. So I've just sent that to the group. Okay. All right. So we can always go through it and then do well to study it ahead of the class. So domain 2. Before we enter domain 2, I would like to entertain questions from domain 1. What is domain 1? What do we discuss in domain 1?
Security principles.
Good. Domain 1 is security principles. So if you are not going to ask questions, should I ask?
You can go ahead.
I have a question actually from the initial class we had, was it not yesterday, the first day, where you were like is not you mustn't you mustn't send your picture on the internet before you have data. Like even without a picture, you can even without somebody's picture, you can get somebody's data. Now, syncing to what we have today, what we discussed today about these cookies, like is how does the internet extort this data from us and now put it on the internet so it becomes trackable? And also these fingerprints, face ID, um password unlock and etc., are they also contributing to the data online, that's digitally, or just via phones?
Okay, so your question is, how does internet track our informations, right? And make it
Yes.
available for hacking and all that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so any other questions so I can take all of them? All right. So what happens, as I told you, is that these cookies, websites uses this cookie to know what you want, to know how you operate. It is called third-party cookies. So there is like the one they use to advertise, right? They can use it to track your behavior across multiple sites. So once they are tracking you with those cookies, of course, they are seeing your footprint. They are seeing your digital signatures. They are seeing where you are going to. And in those places that you are going to, what is happening is that they are monitoring what you are doing there. And of course, will be one or two places your picture will appear. You have visited. If it's school portal, if it is office portal, if it is a bank portal, if it is any of these portal you have visited, the cookie is following you. Now, for the fingerprint you mentioned, your IP address reveals your location, combines with your browser setting. That is why it's always good to, if you want to do some certain things, you can use incognito browser. You can use that to browse freely and nobody is going to track you. They will use the browser. You can change your browser setting as well to make sure that this website cannot track you. Now, what happened to your social media and online presence? We are all in LinkedIn. Our informations are there. You post things on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, social media. So these things that you are sharing is building a digital profile for you. So these people are if they want to monitor, they can go across board to know what you are doing. They can actually see the things that you query on a browser and the site you visit, and they can use it to do one or two and say, yes, this is it. They can also check the app you have in your phones. Then with that, they can come up with an email to do phishing attack on you. They will, or do social engineering. Or maybe if they're in the same Wi-Fi with you, they can do man-in-the-middle attack. So, but you have to make sure you are protected by using strong password, multiple factor authentication. Make sure that your cookies are set in the browser, and always view the permissions you gave some certain apps. This can keep you safe. Do you understand that now? Are you with me? Anybody?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I understand.
All right. We are going to call it a day from here. So tomorrow we are going to start with incident domain 2, incident response, business continuity, and disaster recovery. If you have not registered for ISC Square exam, there is a link in the group. You use that link to register. Those who have registered can as well guide those who have not registered. We will bring out time to do it on a day so that all of us can be following with what you are doing. Because that's where you see these 5 domains and even the questions, likely questions you are going to see in exam. If there is no other question, I would like to call it a day.